And I also saw there was regime government. A regime is a system of government that oppresses people. It is a style of rule that does not rely on any democratic processes such as free voice for citizens, free press, free and independent press, that the press is free to report on things happening in the country without the reporters worrying if they will be killed or if they will be snatched and put in jail forever. And there's no such thing as one man, one vote. So this thing of free elections, it goes away. So there are no free and fair elections that are available in a regime. In a regime, certain people get to make all the decisions. So they have some kind of a vote. It may not be the normal electoral ballot, but they have decision-making power, and then everybody else has nothing. So you can find out more about this kind of society in books like Brave New World, in books like 1984. It is that kind of society. The state decides everything, and the people just follow along with the brand new processes that the state has. I spoke in the previous video about how I saw that troublemakers in the new world, you know what, here in the United States will be handled by public execution. People will be killed out in the public on the road, and even the young will be made to stand there and see it. And so that people can know if you act up, this is what happens to you. And in a regime, there is no free press that can criticize the government. So this thing of, I'm going to start a newspaper, I'm going to meet all the national standards for a newspaper or the local standards for a newspaper, and I will report on the news in Poughkeepsie, or I will report on the news in New York City or Delaware, and I'm going to have a free independent newspaper that reports the true news. There's nothing like that. There wasn't even the corrupted form of news that we have now, which is just partisan news. You only have like two groups, and then both of those groups are reporting as hard as they can. Look at all the sins of the other side. And then whenever there's sins on their side, then they strongly defend those sins. And then the other side is accusing, look at all the sins of the other side. But then whenever there's sins and mistakes on their side, then they justify it. So even the corrupted news that we have now went away, and there's no free press. There's only this kind of press where the government puts out basically propaganda. So the government will say, we are good, and if we killed that family yesterday, it's because we discovered that that family was a family of dissidents, and they didn't believe in what we're doing for this great and brave new society. So that's why we hung them in the public square yesterday, and then the people are all expected to politely clap, but mostly they're just clapping out of abject terror. That is how I saw it was here. And there is no informed citizenry that can hold the leaders accountable. So basically, you cannot say that the leader is guilty of anything. In a regime government, when you speak against the leader, people get paid if they snitch on you to the government. So if you go to a party and you are drinking a little too much and you begin to complain about the district leader in your area when you're in a regime government, anyone at that party who managed to tape you or managed to reliably hear you and can repeat your words back to someone in power will be paid as an informant, and then they will take you from your home and they will detain you. I saw that in America, not in this prophecy, but in a very, very gripping and strange prophecy called, If You See Something, Say Something. I will try to leave these links. I will watch these and try to leave the links in a few hours. But you can just go ahead and listen to the titles of the prophecies and then go to the Master's Voice and go to the search box. Scroll down, just open any prophecy and go down past the comments in the blue section until you see the search box, and then you can just type in the names of these prophecies that I give in the video, and then you can read it for yourself. I saw in those days that reporting people was quite big, and the government gave you some kind of credit. There was a credit reward system if you reported people. And so you can't criticize leaders in a regime, and the citizenry is not informed because the citizenry does not know the truth. So citizens don't have access to the truth. Citizens only have access to propaganda, and they have to agree, otherwise they're going to be sorry. So in a regime, all things exist for the government, by the government, and there's absolute control from the top down to the people, and that's how America became. There were no hallmarks of a democracy in that time that I was dreaming of. It was completely a regime.